Okay, so great. New for spring of 13 and actually carrying forward into fall, we have these new Ben 10 minifigures. You can see all the great new characters, different styles of Ben's aliens, and actually some evil villains there as well. But they come in a 2-pack, so you can see on shelf which exactly the characters that you're going to get, or in some retailers, they may actually be in a blind pack, and you can collect them individually. There'll be 16 for throughout the entire year, so there's 16 different characters that you can collect, and you can see they're all great little stylized minifigures, squash figures, whatever people like to call them, but really cool, really fun for the Ben 10 fans to collect.
Super deformed.
Yes, there we go, thank you, super deformed. And then of course our Ben 10 action figures, which is the mainstay of the brand. You can see a bunch of Ben's brand new aliens. We have a character called Kickin' Hawk here. We have this new character called Astrodactyl here. And then his character Topic at the end. And you'll notice some of them have like a translucence to them. That's part of our Omniplasm line. So it's a special line of figures that have like a translucence to them. So I don't know if you can see that, how the character has some translucence. And then we have just our regular figures. There are the solid colors. And then with each one of the figures, you'll get a little mini figure, and that will work with the Omnitrix Shuffle, which I'll demonstrate for you in a minute. But so there's all the figures of the line. Ben's up to about 60 different aliens that he can turn into now, so we've got a real robust line of figures kids can collect. Not quite 60, but a good line. We have some new stylized figures here that are wind-up figures. So you actually wind these guys up, and they will, you can see how he spins around. The little, it's not catching, but this will go around and spin as he's doing his thing. Comes in chiming packs. You can see what it's like on shelf. We have our 6-inch figures here. The cool thing about all these figures is that they have the alien strength as part of the feature. So we have Humongosaur here. I don't know if you can see, there's a button on his back, and when I push this down, you can see his hands going together, and he'll grab this character, and then when I pull him up, he can actually flick the character up over his head, way up into the air. It's hard to do now because you have to do it like in a quick motion all at one time, but...
I won't take out the display.
Exactly, thank you. But then here we have Sparky here, but this is Shock Squatch. You can see he's got the little flint inside, so every time he's pounding down on one of his aliens, sparks will come up. This will actually be more translucent painted, so you'll be able to see it better in the final. But you can see all the characters have some sort of feature built into them at the cool 6-inch size. Really new and exciting is our model kits. So we're calling them Omnikits, but they're no cutting, no gluing, no painting. You just pop the different piece out of the runner here. So I would just, go back and forth until it snaps right out. And then I have my internal frame here that I just put all the pieces onto the frame. And then when I have all the pieces on the frame, I put the stickers on them, and then I come out with this guy. So now all of those pieces together, 25 plus pieces, I've made this really cool little figure that I can actually, it's fully articulated. I mean, even his wrists move, elbows move, shoulder moves, legs move. Some, legs move at the knees. Because he's a short guy, his legs don't move at the knees. But like you can see here, we've got Heat Blast. You can see his ankles move, his knees move, so you can action pose them, you can play with them. And because their parts pop off, I could pull his hand off or his arm off and put it on that guy, and I can mix and match the parts on different pieces. So you can see it's real simple. I just slide that in there. Now he's back together. And with that sticker pack, I can make him look really super cool. So not only are you building it, you can also play with it. We have our vinyl figures. Fans will certainly recognize these. Just have some new characters, some of the band's new aliens. Have those represented on vinyl. Here we have a new line. We call them our Tactilians, but these are 10-inch figures. They have a light inside. I don't know if you can see Rook's eyes lighting up there. And they're also bendable, so it's like a wire frame inside a rubber casing, so you can bend them in all different directions. And there's actually, this is fabrics on here, so there's different types of rubbers, fabrics. That's why we call them our Tactilians, because they're like tactile aliens, so you can touch them. That's Kyber, Ben's big bad. That's his evil nemesis, the one who's out to get Ben. So he has a light up in a feature in his eyes too. I don't know if you can see it, his eyes there. The battery's getting a little faint, but he lights up there, and he's also 10-inch scale, big, huge evil figure, so you can role play with the two of them. As we get into our Omnitrixes, which all the fans know are what allows Ben to transform from his human self into his alien self. We have two different versions here. We have our Omnitrix Shuffle, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you, but before I do that, as fans probably know, Ben doesn't always get the alien that he wants, and sometimes that's really part of the fun of it, is that you never know what you're going to get. So as I turn this on, and this is just a demo model, forgive all the wiring and everything else, but what will happen is every time I shake the watch, it gives you a different alien's name. So there's 10 aliens in there, so when you shake it, you'll get a different one each time. You could get the same one twice, it's random, you just never know what's going to show up. So you can see every time you shake it, you get that different alien's voice. But if you don't want to go random, what you can do is you can actually make it give you that particular alien's voice. So inside the pack with the Omnitrix comes this bust figure, this minifigure, that you can put on top. And when you do that, that will make only that alien's voice come out. So if you want to control the watch, you can collect more of those bust figures when you purchase the action figures that we showed you at the front. So one of those will come with some of the action figures, and then you can control the voices. What's really going to wow fans and kind of blow the industry apart is this new Omnitrix we have, because what it does is it will interact with all the different media platforms that kids love to play with right now. So when I say that, it comes with the DVD to begin with, and this is the DVD behind me that's playing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on, and we're going to turn the volume up, and what's going to happen is the watch is going to react. I don't know if you can feel it's vibrating right now. It stopped, but it's going to, when you feel it, so now it's vibrating and the light's coming on. See, the light comes on and off, and it just made a noise, and it also will say the character's name. Listen. So just like grab attack. So on the video, there's going to be 11 different like action-packed episode pieces for each one of the different voices that are in the watch. So with this particular vignette, it's all a bunch of different aliens, but you can hear kind of the different sound effects going on. Same thing with our app. I'm going to turn this off here. You can edit this, right? See how I just moved back and forth? So now I'm going to push it down. Now I just went into another screen. So I'm going to, fans may remember the old Creation Chamber figures where you could mix and match all the different pieces. So I'm going to use the Omnitrix to make the pieces move around on the screen. See now on the top there. This is a demo model, so this is not the final app, and this isn't the final watch. These are all just to demonstrate to all our fans the cool new technology that's going to be coming out. So what you can do is you can pick the different pieces you want, and there's a really cool payoff when we get all these different body parts selected. But the main function that I want everyone to see is how you can use the app and the watch, and there's nothing, you know, it's completely wireless.
You're a parent and you got a $800 iPad. You won't mind your kids playing just with it.
Exactly. Almost there. So now that we're good, so now we just got the payoff where we got the, I don't know if you could hear it, I had the volume down, but so we got the transformation there from all those different characters. So now what we can do is we can go back, and because there's 3 different body parts and 100 different characters, you know, you can create thousands of different combinations, you know, and we're still working on the app to finally figure out what the functionality is going to be, but you can see how the watch will interact with that.
Now, would it just be for Apple, or you could try to get to like maybe like
right now it's just Android? Apple, but yeah, we'll try and go further than that. So there's going to be 3 apps that have this technology, and we're calling it the OmniLink. So that's the name of the technology. So when kids go to download the app, they'll go to the iTunes store, and when you see the Ben 10 app that has OmniLink, you know, on there, then they know that's the one that'll work with the watch. So in addition to the DVD, we got the app, also video games. So all the platforms, Sony PlayStation, Xbox, Wii, all those video games will actually interact with the watch, just like I showed you with the DVD. So when the fan's wearing the watch and they're playing a video game, the watch will have a sound effect, it'll light up, it'll vibrate, you'll hear the alien's voice. All these different things will happen when you're playing the video games as well. And then also CartoonNetwork.com games. So if you go to their website, there's games you can play for Ben 10. So those games actually will react with the watch as well. And those reactions, like I said, are, you know, the voices, the sound effects, the vibrating, the lights. So all those cool features in this new Omnitrix. And unfortunately, I don't have a better color model in this, but here's what it's, you know, the more accurate paint ops. So you can see a little bit more what it's going to look like in the final picture. Let's see. Turn that off. And then we have a vehicle for Ben. So we have a cool plumber spaceship, and you can actually put him inside there. There's a little seat that pops up, so he can ride inside. And when you actually roll the wheels along, There's actually wheels on the bottom, and when you do that, what happens is it opens up and missiles fire out. So it's in its closed form, and when you're rolling it, it pops up and all 4 missiles fly out at the same time. So very cool new Plumber spaceship that Ben comes with. Role-play masks. Kids love to become their favorite characters. So we have Rook, which is Ben's new sidekick. So anyone who wants to turn into Rook can easily put on this mask. We actually had one of Rook's proto tools last season, so kids can probably still find that on shelf, so they can really do the whole ensemble. We also have Crash Hopper here, and this is actually like a whole play set. So you get a Omnitrix, you get a figure, and you get his mask all in one. Great package. And then lastly, we already ruined the secret, but we have this great new set which allows kids to really experience the transformation of Ben. So as you saw there, what happens is we have Ben here in the front standing at the lab door, and when danger approaches, you can pop that open and Ben disappeared, and now we have Humongosaur at the top, and you can see you can actually pull him out. So you can put any of your action figures in there. It does come with the Humongosaur here and the Ben that we saw before in the door, and this Humongosaur isn't in the rest of the line, so you can only get it here in the deluxe playset, which we're calling the Transformation Station, because you make the transformation from Ben into the character. We also have a missile firing turret, so you can fire missiles out there. We have this little scooter that you can shoot off across the table, so this comes flying out. You can see we have Rook there on the scooter going off to catch the bad guys. We have a little jail cell where we have Zombozo, that's one of the bad guys already in jail. So a lot of fun different ways the kids can play with the deluxe playset.